My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Spy Kids Armageddon. And I want to begin this review by talking about how much this franchise means to me. Like, the first three movies were my childhood, and I still really enjoy them. The fourth movie, I know people hate, but I also really like it as well. So it might be silly in hindsight, but I did have pretty decent expectations for this movie. I was really hoping to like it, and unfortunately, it kinda sucks. Easily the worst movie of the five, but let's begin by talking about the cast. And Colonel Esterson and Everly Cognella do a serviceable job, I guess. It's just a huge step down from Carmen and Junie. It's a step down from the kids in the fourth movie, and they're just really forgettable at the end of the day. And okay, we're like five movies in. Can we switch it up just a little bit? Why is it always one boy and one girl? Why not have trends? Like two boys, one girl, or two girls, one boy. Or why not have two boys, two girls? I don't know. Something so these movies can feel a little bit different. Zachary Levi is very frustrating because he can be a great actor. He was great in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel Season 2. He was great in Tangled. He did a good job as Shazam. But whenever he's in a kids movie like this, he just feels cringe. He doesn't fit these kinds of movies, and it just feels like he's trying a little too hard. Gina Rodriguez is pretty forgettable as well. When you compare these characters to Carmen and Junie and Antonio Banderas and Carla Gugino, the comparison is just night and day. And then we've got Billy Magnuson as the villain, and this guy is frustrating because he is a good actor, but he just picks the worst projects, and I feel like he did a really bad job here. DJ Catrona. What the actual hell was this? He plays a character named Devlin. So is this George Clooney's character? Or is Devlin a code name? I'm sorry, I needed an explanation because this guy was a complete bumbling idiot and I really didn't care for his performance. So the cast, I didn't really care for any of these characters. And, okay, I will say this about this movie. I do appreciate how it feels like a love letter to the franchise, because it is the exact same story as the first movie. It does try to recapture some visuals from the second movie with the skeletons and the Aztec, and there's a bit of the movie where they go into a video game, just like the third movie. And I like it when movies in franchises respect the previous movies in that same franchise. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel like anything new. I was just watching this movie and I'm like, this is just Spy Kids 1 all over again. One scene where the parents escape and then they end up at a big table with the villain. I've seen this before. Oh, the mom's in a jail cell and the kids come to open it up. I saw that before in the very first movie and it was done infinitely better. And when so many of the visuals look like something I've seen before, it just kind of feels like this movie is void of any of its own creativity. There's even this little crab robot that operated just like WoW from the second movie. So, it just is lacking in what I loved about these movies so much. Now, there is some creativity. I do like the emotion bomb, and I do like the block trails, but there's just not enough of it, and too much of this movie feels like hand-me-downs, like a lesser version of stuff I've seen in the other movies, and it also doesn't understand basic structure, because you see the skeletons and the block monsters early on, and there's just no real surprises for later in the movie. Like, for example, in the first Spy Kids, you see some of the Fooglies early on, you see some of the Thumb-Thumbs early on, but then you get the Robot Kids, you start to see the Thumb-Thumb making factory, you see Minion turning into four-headed Minion. There's still new stuff in the last act. Same with Island of Lost Dreams. You've got Pigtail Girl, you've got Ralph, you've got the amusement park, you've got the Magnet Man, then the Dragonfly submarine, then you've got the stuff on the island. Spy Kids 3, each level is very distinct, and here it shows you everything in the first 20 minutes, so the rest of the movie just doesn't have anything left to show you. I will actually say though, I know some people really hate the look of all of these movies, and don't get me wrong, there has definitely been some questionable CGI, but Robert Rodriguez always goes for stylistic choices over realistic choices, and I do kind of like how cartoony this movie looks, but it's still got some polish to it. It looks like a more defined version of what he was going for with the third movie. But that said, it is a Netflix movie, and boy does it look like it. I do not like this overly digital, clean look to it. It just looks so bland and uninspired. And also we get to the ending of this movie. Well, it's so heavy-handed. I know at the end of the first movie, Devlin's like, oh, I don't need the adults. I need your kids to go on a mission. And they're like, no, we're doing this together. And they talk about not keeping secrets from each other. It's never been a set of franchise. But the end of this movie... Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. When the villain is defeated and they're like, he can't go to jail. You've got to make him a better person. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are we doing here? What a simplistic view of a very complicated issue. And yeah, no. I know it sounds like I hate this movie. I really don't. I feel like my score is going to be much higher than it sounds like it's going to be. There still is some creativity, and like I said, I like how it's a love letter to the franchise, and it's not boring, I'll give the movie that, but it just feels so played out. It really does. It feels like a worse version of a movie I've seen multiple times at this point, and it just doesn't bring enough new. The execution isn't as good as it should be, but it still has its moments. It does have some weirdness. I don't know. It's bad, but it's not that bad. So I'll give Spy Kids Armageddon a 4 out of 10. By the way, wasn't Armageddon supposed to be the title for the fourth movie? I know it's called All the Time in the World, but this movie even took its title from the fourth one. Just like I was saying. But anyways, Spy Kids Armageddon. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.